Alrighty, check. Yo. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This is episode number 152. Is that correct? 152. Yeah, that's a lot of episodes. My producer's giving me the nod from the back, saying yes, this is episode 152. We are drinking an ice cold Red Bull. Currently addicted to these. Not because of anything else, just because they're caffeine. Pretty much. I've had a Red Bull every day for the last probably 3 months, so not a big one, just the small 8-ounce, but I mean that cannot be good for you. It cannot be good for you. And I tried to quit yesterday. I didn't have any caffeine all day long, and I started getting a headache. I'm like, oh, I probably just didn't sleep long enough, or I started drinking a lot of water. I'm like, I've still got this headache, and then I'm like, I got a Red Bull, drank it, and the headache went away. So I know for a fact I'm addicted. Those are withdrawals. I'm having withdrawals from caffeine. But I mean, who's not? So that being said, let's get right into the episode. Let's see. No new books finished. I did watch The Iron Claw. The Iron Claw it was a movie about the Von Erich brothers from WWE wrestling. Actually, I don't even know if it was WWE back then. It was WCF or something like that, World Wrestling Organization. It was something else, but it was like this family of wrestlers. Their dad was a wrestler who pretended to be a Nazi. Their dad's wrestling character, the Iron Claw, he invented his final move was the Iron Claw. And he holds up his hand like this, and then suctions it to your head, and he crushes your skull until you submit. But he was a Nazi, and that was his whole character. And he passed down the power of the Iron Claw. This is why I love wrestling. It's so theatrical. It's pretty much like buff gymnastics meets theater. So they're kind of like theater kids where they're like, yo, let's just play off of each other's energy out there and just see kind of where we go. Let's see where we take this thing, you know? But they're also like 250 pounds, 6'6", and just slamming each other into the canvas. So it's interesting. I've never really been into wrestling, and I remember when I was a kid, wrestling was really popular. I went to pretty much an all-Mexican school, and wrestling was so huge. There was this character that wore a mask, like a luchador mask, and he had this special move. And my Mexican friends in middle school and high school would do the move, and he hits him, and he summons a cobra, and he turns his hand into a cobra. And then the cobra, if he touches you with the cobra, you die, or I don't know what happens to you, but you die. And I would tell them, like, that's fake, right? And they would get genuinely concerned, like upset at me for telling them that that's fake. That's like when you fight your brother and you're like, well, I summon wind powers, and then they're like, well, I have immunity to wind, and it's like that's what's happening. Oh, well, I just threw 15 fireballs at you, but I summoned, I'm a waterbender now from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I wash all the fire away. Oh, but you weren't that when we started. That's what wrestling is to me. It's kind of like an imaginary sport. And it's funny, in the movie, one of the Von Erich brothers, his wife, he's telling his wife, he's like, man, I just want to become world heavyweight champion of the world. And the girl that he's dating, soon to be wife, she's like, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it all sort of fake? And he looks at her dead ass. It's Zac Efron, and he's like, it's not fake. And then she's like, my bad, I meant to say predetermined. And he's like, it's based off of how entertaining you are. I'm like, okay, so to become the world heavyweight champion of the world, you don't really have to be. It's not who's the best fighter; it's who's the most entertaining and who the crowd likes the most. He's like, like if the crowd roars loud enough for you, you just become the world heavyweight championship. Like, but I mean, it was a really, really good movie. Really sad. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I mean, it happened in real life, so it's not really spoilers. But I didn't even know who these people were, so I was going in blind. I didn't know who the Von Erichs were. But it's just such a sad story. Every person involved it's just so sad for all parties, everyone. The dad's kind of like the dad is, I don't even know if he's a boomer. He might be considered a boomer, but he is like the stereotypical boomer. He's like, well, boys, don't let me catch you crying. That's pushy shit, you know? And these kids just grow up around their father, who's like, the father never let his son pursue his interest in music. He kind of forced he tried to live vicariously through all of his kids. And I mean, spoiler moment, skip ahead, click the skip 30 seconds ahead button twice. Right now, spoilers for 1 minute. I'm going to say something. All of his kids, except for one, kill themselves. Just because, like that's the situation that the Von Erich kids were in. And I know that there was probably drugs and fame and stuff that was involved, but dude, that dad, at least in the movie, made me hate the dad, and it made me honestly hate that kind of mindset where it's like, well, you gotta pick yourself up and you gotta get back in the ring, boy. And it's like the kid just wanted to play guitar. But yeah, that being said, The Iron Claw, I would say, I mean, it was honestly a pretty entertaining movie. I was almost crying. I was almost bawling my eyes out. At the very end, Zac Efron, even though he has an entirely new head, he had head surgery. They replaced his head with someone else's, who's vaguely Zac Efron. It's like if you ask someone to draw Zac Efron from memory, they just draw the new Zac Efron head. So he's got a new head, and I was like, is he going to be able to emote? Am I going to be able to see any emotion? And I was surprised that, you know, his new skin seems to be elastic enough to where he can like cry. But I don't know why he did that to himself. I mean, he looks just so weird. It's like every time I see him, I'm like, who is that? All right. Let's get into the news. Oh, I'll give that movie a solid 8 out of 10. I would watch it again. Yeah, I'd watch it again. The news. Check. All right. All right. Also, I think that the Oscars are soon. Oh, and also there's a game going on right now. I'm going to be checking the score from every now and then. This is Chiefs versus the Ravens, and I want to. And this is probably one of the most. Here we go. The score is 17-7 in the fourth. Oh, and Baltimore with a big run here. Okay. 17-7. Baltimore's just scored a field goal just now. It is 10-7 in the fourth. 2 minutes remaining. The whole nation right now is rallying behind one man. They're rallying behind Lamar Jackson. This video went popular recently on TikTok.
Lamar Jackson, if you can hear us, please save us, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, if you can hear us, please save us. Please save us, Lamar Jackson.
So this meme has lots of layers because one, that is a parody of the guy who's getting pulled over and there's flashing police lights in the background. He's like, Donald Trump, please Please save us, Donald Trump. Please save me, Donald Trump. That guy. So he's doing a parody of that for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the... Look, I'm not a sports guy at all, but I do know that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are kind of the... they've become the face of the NFL. Whether you like it or not, they cut to Taylor Swift almost every other play. They cut to Taylor Swift's reaction. Everyone needs to know how is Taylor Swift reacting to this play. The play-by-play might as well just be directed by Taylor Swift. She's doing like high five. She's doing high five, fist bumps, chest bumps with her girly best friends, and then doing the finger twiddles. Yay, go team. She's doing that on the sidelines in her booth with, cheering on Kansas City. And quite frankly, the world is tired of seeing her. This is the assumption I've come to. I don't have a horse in either race, but it is funny, and I just go whichever one's more funny, because I like that. It's funny to see how much the world hates that combo. Anyone who might have liked Travis Kelce probably doesn't like him anymore since he sold out to Pfizer. I think Aaron Rodgers started calling him COVID boy or like vaccine boy or something. So he's like not even cool for that. Like he's not even like a cool kind of like country boy that you would think from Kansas City. No, he's not even that. He's sold out to Pfizer, and now he's dating one of the world's biggest pop stars. So he's like, every single person on the planet wants Lamar Jackson to take down Kansas City so that they do not go on to the Super Bowl. So it's a pretty close game right now. It is 10-17. Looks like Kansas City is in possession, and in the fourth quarter, it's looking grim, not gonna lie, for Baltimore Ravens, but I want them to win. We'll see. Honestly, by the time this podcast is over, the game might be finished. But yeah, let's continue on to, I love that. Wait, let me play the original clip. Here it is. Here is the original clip. Everyone tag in Donald Trump, please.
Donald Trump.
Here it is.
Tag in Donald Trump. Donald
He's doing
Trump,
it live.
if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump. Please. I'm asking you. Please save me.
Please.
Please save me. Please get these people away from me. Dear God's name, please stop.
So I forgot how good this clip was. There's a police officer, gun drawn, in the background, pointing it at him. They are circling his car. And they're busting open his window.
They're breaking.
And they broke open his window. Please save me, Donald Trump. Please save me, Donald Trump. They're breaking in his window. Lamar, okay, needless to say, Donald Trump did not save this man.
Be broke. Yes, sir.
Please save me, Donald Trump.
I'm not doing anything, sir. I'm a believer in the Lord. I'm the Lord's child. I promise.
I mean, that guy probably was tweaked out. Hobie said it was 12 Donald Trumps. Please say 12 Hail Marys. Please say 12 Hail Donald Trumps. Please, Donald Trump, save us. Save me, Donald Trump. Get these people away from me. That's okay, let's continue on. Oh, this is kind of thematic. This news article. So with the Iron Claw about WWE, Vince McMahon, which this came out literally yesterday, my bad. Vince McMahon, WWE founder resigns amid sex trafficking allegations. So let's investigate. And by investigate, I mean listen.
Settlements to multiple women while serving as WWE CEO and chairman have been circulating since at least 2022, but a lawsuit filed Thursday that accuses McMahon of explosive sexual allegations was apparently the straw that...
So, when they say explosive sexual allegations, I do believe he shit on someone. So I don't know if this guy meant to do like a pun intended, but I think that's where the thing went.
That accuses McMahon of explosive sexual allegations was apparently the straw that broke the camel's back. The lawsuit was filed by Janelle Grant, a former WWE staffer who worked at the headquarters of the wrestling behemoth McMahon founded. Grant is alleging that...
Yo, I thought this guy was just a like an announcer. He's actually a really good announcer, and he owns the company. That's crazy. That's pretty cool. Vince McMahon has resigned from his role as executive chairman of TKO, the parent company WWE, following disturbing allegations of his sexual assault and trafficking and physical abuse. The allegations came to light in a lawsuit filed by the former WWE staffer Janelle Grant, who worked at the headquarters. McMahon has denied the allegations to defend himself. Okay, so out of respect for WWE Universe, decided to resign, blah, blah, blah. I want to know what these allegations are. McMahon engaged in acts of extreme cruelty and degradation towards Grant during her time at WWE. What type of... I heard somewhere that he shit on someone. Also paid out settlements to multiple women while serving time as CEO. In the lawsuit, Grant alleged that McMahon dangled a job offer at WWE and later promotions in exchange for sex. Okay, well, you know, WWE's been going on a long time. That was kind of the norm, I believe, until 2012, I believe. So Grant's lawsuit also alleges that McMahon trafficked her and other men inside and outside the company, including John Laurinaitis, who worked at the company's talent relations department, also named defendant. Okay, well, second allegation. He initially retired from his role, blah, blah, blah. Sexual misconduct. I want to know what he did. She claims actively worked to conceal... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Disturbing allegations. One of the disturbing incidents detailed an alleged sexual assault among Grant, McMahon, and Laurinaitis that occurred at the headquarters. The two men alleged to pull Grant behind a locked door, forcibly restrain her as she begged them to stop. One of the men allegedly said to her, "No means yes." Okay, so these people might be deranged. Like, if this is real, that's horrific. In the purest definition of horror, that is scary. In a situation, and I kind of relate to women on a level where it comes to sexual assault. I relate, and this video is definitely not staying up on YouTube. I've said sexual assault way too many times, but I level with women because I am in stature and size women-like, right? Like, McMahon and another man could pick me up, tie me down, and have their way with me if they so pleased. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm like 5'6", 5'7". I'm not tall, right? I'm like 130 pounds. It's scary. I know how scary it is to be in an elevator with a man with Vince McMahon specifically. In a statement to CNN on Thursday, Grant's attorney Ann Callis said in the lawsuit that holds accountable to executives blah 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 blah, sexual assault, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is not. Whoa, holy shit. WWE Raw. Netflix also recently announced it would become an exclusive home of WWE Raw starting January 2025. According to filing, the 10-year deal is valued at more than $5 billion. Jesus. So, I mean, Vince McMahon's got money. Why is it that the second someone gets rich, they become sexually depraved? Now, this makes me realize one of two things: that everyone is sexually depraved, and when they're rich, they just get away with it, or that there's some sort of like inner sanctum of people that are sort of like bringing people into the fold of sexual depravity. I don't know what it is with rich people and being kind of the worst people when it comes to this. Like, you hear every day of some rich person who's goosing someone on the job. That news article almost passed by because I like, oh, this is so every day this happens. Let's continue. What's going on in the U.S.-Texas border standoff? So as of right now, and let me check the score again on the Baltimore Chiefs game. The score is, it's done. Well, yeah, it's over. Baltimore loses 10-17. RIP. Great. So now the, that's unfortunate. Now we got to see Taylor Swift's face at the Super Bowl. Great. All right. Well, there's that. So as of right now, there's a standoff at the Texas border. So the standoff, as I understand it, Texas, Greg Abbott, which is the governor, and also I didn't know disabled. He's in a wheelchair. Which it's interesting. I mean, I've never seen that. That's, I mean, good for him to win while also being in a wheelchair. That's big news. But so Greg Abbott, wheelchair bound, he has had so many illegal immigrants come into his state, Texas, that he has declared it a state of emergency for Texas. So he said, let's activate the Texas National Guard and let's get down there and start putting up rows and rows of razor wire. So this is worse than barbed wire because this is like razor wire. So an unusual standoff. Because, yeah, I would say unusual. I would say this is not the usual. A standoff between a state and its government is far from usual. An unusual standoff between the federal and state governments is taking shape in Texas's border with Mexico, a battle over states' right and migrant safety. The conflict comes a record influx of migrants across the southern border. So as we discussed in the last episode, I believe, a lot of drugs come in, the drogas come in from the border. The cartel is the number one smuggler of drugs, dealer of drugs. China is in a proxy war. Now, this is all in the last episode. Go watch it. China's in a proxy war with the Mexican cartel. This is not a conspiracy. This is fact. Go just... If you don't want to hear it from me, watch the Andrew Cullinhan documentary. It's 45 minutes long. It's on his channel, Channel 5 News, where he's talking. It's the Philadelphia episode. It's like came out 2 weeks ago or something. There is a proxy war between China and the cartel for selling fentanyl and trank. Tranquilizer is trank is horse tranquilizer, which junkies shoot up and feel good for a bit. So there's a proxy war. So the drugs are getting here from somewhere, right? The drugs are getting here from somewhere. They're not spawning out of minute. There's no one's doing alchemy. There's no alchemist out there who's turning, dirt into fentanyl. They're coming from somewhere, right? And the cartel is the biggest culprit because they are the ones who are actively killing people for raising prices, for hopping, like, cutting their product to try to cut gains. They're the ones who are artificially keeping the price uninflated, which is good for them for stopping inflation. So it is the cartel. The cartel are in America, and they are controlling the drug market. I don't know which I don't even really know what's happening there. I just know that it's a thing, right? Okay. That being said, let's continue on. So I'm not saying that every single person who crosses the border is bringing drugs, because there's a lot of people who, and I would say the majority of people are coming here for good reasons, because they want to escape the horrible conditions of wherever they're coming from, right? Which makes sense. Yeah. Which makes sense. If where you're coming from, they actively kidnap people, I would say, yeah, it makes sense that you want to leave. And this is it's a delicate subject, because you're like, where do these people go if they want to be away from people that kidnap people? And then you got to ask, well, are they really kidnapping people in their own town? Like, why aren't they just kidnapping gang members? And then you have to ask, the only reason why we accept people is if they are scared for their life. So, of course, everyone, when asked why they're leaving, is going to say they're scared for their life just so they can get in. So maybe that skews the numbers. There's a lot of moving parts. So let's just continue. That's not the point. We're not here to discuss who gets into the country. We're here to discuss the battle at the border. The razor wire in the Supreme Court decision, the razor wire. So this all started with a razor wire. Has long been used in sections of the border between the United States and Mexico to stop undocumented migrants from crossing over. In May 2021, Texas Governor Greg Abbott expanded the use of wire when he ordered disaster declaration on the border, which allowed the state to install the fencing on private property near the Rio Grande. Okay. So now Greg Abbott defied the Supreme Court decision. On Wednesday, Greg Abbott issued a statement claiming the federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states by failing to stop migrants from crossing the border. In the few days since, the Texas National Guards and state troopers have continued their standoff with Border Patrol agents over the wire. So Texas agents are trying to install wire. Government, like the national, like the government, Border Patrol, are trying to stop them from putting wire up. So now it's a fight between who can get the wire up and who can take it down. So that is an actual standoff. I don't know. There's no shots fired yet. I don't know. Eagle Pass, Texas, where this is going down. So there are I like this flag. This flag's Ted Cruz, God knows he probably made this shit. Ted Cruz posted a picture of, it's a white flag with razor wire in the middle with the Lone Star, and it says, "Come and take it." God, Ted Cruz. So will the Biden administration federalize the Texas National Guard? So this means that Biden is going to, so this is a question of, will Biden take control of the Texas National Guard? In the past, standoffs between the state officials and the federal government, presidents have taken the step of federalizing the National Guard as a resolution. Notable examples include Dwight Eisenhower federalizing Arkansas National Guard to ensure Little Rock 9 safe passage to their desegregated high school, and JFK federalizing the Alabama National Guard to allow black students to register to attend University of Alabama. Interesting. So the only two times that they have been federalized is to keep them safe from minorities. So, or I guess to keep minorities safe. And so they're saying that he might do that again now to protect the people coming in from the border. Can they just say like no? Like, could they do that? I don't really even know how that works. Because I imagine trying to nationalize, like, to take control, to federalize the Texas National Guard would be kind of, might be tough. Those guys might not be, like, you never really even know where their loyalties lie when it comes to, like, you really think that they're going to be taking orders, like a guy from Texas is going to be taking orders? And I guess they have to. That's why they go through boot camp so that they take orders. Oh, here's a clip from Biden. What is this? Is this about it?
Strikes in Yemen working.
Well,
Oh, no, this is just a clip. He said, "Are the bombings in Yemen working?"
Are the airstrikes in Yemen working?
He said, "Are the airstrikes in Yemen working?"
Are the airstrikes in Yemen working?
well, when you say working, are they stopping the Houthis? No. Are they going to continue? Yes.
Biden responds saying, "Are they stopping the Houthi? No. Will they continue? Yes." Interesting. It's a cool one. So yeah, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on the border situation. Yeah, that's a shame. Texas to Kansas City won. We'll see. We'll see who they are playing in the big game. Why retirement is a bad idea. Now, this is a fun article. These are the kind of articles that make you question why Forbes, who is this for? Why are you trying to tell me that retirement is a bad idea, financially and psychologically? This came out not too long ago. As a financial planner who spends his life helping individuals plan for retirement, and advising you not to retire may seem counterproductive, but it's what I'm about to do. Why? Retirement, in the traditional sense, is unhealthy. I think retirement should be avoided as much as possible, and here's why. It usually can't be undone. If you turn 65 and decide you are ready to retire, you better do absolutely sure. In many cases, the decision to retire is irreversible. You might be thinking, yes, that's the point. I'm tired of working. And yes, a lot of individuals are faced with the need to unretire, whether the financial distress or simple boredom. God, imagine a country where you're so, work is, I don't even know how to even explain this. Like, you're bored, so you go to work, right? And you come out of retirement, out of boredom. That has me scratching my head. So you work your entire life to retire. And when you get there, you're like, well, I'm bored. I'm going to re-enter the workforce at age 75. And just because I'm bored. Like, that seems kind of like a hellish existence. Boredom is that bad. Boredom is the true enemy. It's dangerous for your health. If you plan to retire as watching soap operas and playing shuffleboard, you are not going to have a great retirement. A traditional retirement can be unhealthy on two levels, physically and emotionally. Dun, dun. That's I imagine that's the noise that that they play when the eventual movie about the guy who doesn't retire or whatever comes out. They're gonna use that the violins. Here it is. This is the new A24 movie about the guy who is thinking about retiring. He comes to his wife. It fades in from black. They're following a car in aerial, It's a drone footage. They're following a car. They enter. Next shot, in the car. The man is talking to his wife. He's saying to the wife, he says, I'm thinking of retiring. This music starts. And then they cut to him playing shuffleboard. And what did this guy said? If your plan for retirement is watching soap operas and playing shuffleboard, you are not going to have a great retirement. And it shows it cuts a clip to him playing shuffleboard, and then him watching soap operas, and then it's his wife walking into the office, making the money. It's dangerous for your wealth, as I'm sure you know. Retiring means giving up your regular paycheck. While there are other sources of income, Social Security benefits, if you're lucky, a pension, you are likely going to be relying on wealth that you've built throughout your career. You need to be certain that you have built enough wealth. So now it's him meeting with a financial advisor. Sir, I'm thinking of retiring. Oh no. You're not thinking of retiring, are you? And it's the whole movie, no one can say the word retirement. I'm thinking about quitting my job. Everyone kind of looks at him. I'm thinking about quitting my job. I'm thinking about quitting my job. Everyone's just spinning around. The camera's spinning around. I'm thinking of quitting my job. Everyone starts screaming. Everyone's screaming. I'm thinking of quitting my job. And then it cuts. Coming 2025. Retired. This is how scared they want you to be of retiring, just so they have people in the workforce. A24 is going to make a movie convincing you that retiring is bad. And the crazy thing is that's not even that far off. Like, the moral of the movie, you'll walk out of the movie and you're like, what was that movie about? Like, do they not want me to retire? Was that the point of the movie, was to convince me to keep working? I've lost all my motivation. I'm bored. The violin just cuts like that. All right, let's continue. This is actually a happy story. Here, my cat's on the camera. God forbid someone wants to retire. God forbid. A woman gives birth in McDonald's parking lot, nicknames newborn son McFlurry. This happened January 24th, Wisconsin, of course. A woman gave birth in a McDonald's parking lot and nicknamed her son Little McFlurry. 25-year-old Alicia Beck gave birth to an 8-pound, 6-ounce baby boy. It was my worst nightmare, Beck told Today. I'm still in shock. It was pretty intense. Husband Daniel Beck added while speaking today. I want to know what they ordered. Let's get to the important part. Per the network, at approximately 11 p.m. on January 11th, Alicia Beck was beginning to experience mild contractions while she was 38 weeks. I thought it was about to say a 38-pound burger, or 3 8-pound burgers. She was 38 weeks along in her pregnancy. Today reported that the 25-year-old brushed the contractions off as Braxton Hicks, which the Cleveland Clinic defined as irregular and less intense contractions felt during pregnancy that can be mistaken for true labor. All right, let's be honest here. She didn't brush them off. She wanted to stop at McDonald's first. Let's get one thing perfectly crystal clear. Let's make this perfectly crystal clear. She did not brush them off because they were mild contractions. They may have been mild contractions, but they were mild enough that she said, let's stop at McDonald's first. Alicia went to sleep, but was abruptly woken up by painful contractions just before her water broke, which I thought was a thing just in movies, but interesting. The couple left for the hospital as soon as Alicia's best arrived at their home to watch. We were in the car for like 2 minutes when I was like, Daniel, you have to pull over. I feel like I'm sitting on the baby's head. Oh, God. At that point, I knew he was coming, and we weren't going to make it to the hospital. Turned to the McDonald's parking lot and dialed 911 around 3:55 a.m. while Alicia Beck climbed to the back of the SUV. The couple told the outlet that it had been snowing hard at the time. I pushed 3 times, and he came out. Oh, the paramedic barely made it and was still there to catch him. Damn. Told the network that the first thing she noticed about her newborn son was that he was blue. Oh, this is sad. I think it's because of how cold it was in the snow and blowing into it got in his face. Luckily, he was totally healthy and everything was fine. He passed all of his tests in the hospital. Oh, well, that is cute. That is cute. And these people aren't nearly as fat as I thought they were going to be. I thought they were. So when I read this headline, and correct me if I'm wrong, you also thought this. You imagine someone who's there at McDonald's to eat, and then they happen to have a baby. Like the baby just kind of falls out of them. They're like, oh, shit. Fuck. Look at little McFlurry. We got McFlurry. That's what that's in my head. That's my headcanon for what happened here. And that's what I will say. If anyone asks if I know of any interesting news that happens, I'm going to say someone was eating a McDouble and a baby popped out of him. Crazy story. Crazy. Let's go on to TikTok time. TikTok time. I know we have a song. We have music for this. Oh, yeah. Yes, let's get into it. Let's get loose. Let's get wet. Let's get wild. All right. Here we go. TikTok time. All right, let's go into the TikToks. We've got... Oh, we already played the Please Save Us, Lamar Jackson. Please save us. Okay, this is Nikki Haley, which I didn't know... I don't know who she is or what she's doing, but she's apparently running for president, and a lot of people dropped out of the presidency against Donald Trump. Valaswamy, that guy dropped out, supported Donald Trump. Ron DeSanctimonious, or whatever his name is, he dropped out. I saw a clip of Donald Trump. He's like, Ron DeSanctimonious, that nickname is retired. He came out and he officially retired the nickname. But now Nikki Haley is running because she feels like she might be the only one left who can stand up to Trump. I mean, you do you. But, I mean, it would be super funny if the first woman president was maybe like one of the most conservative people. I think Nikki Haley is kind of the... I think she's running under kind of a hard right situation. Super religious. I don't really even know anything about her. I don't need to know anything about her. I'm not an informed voter. I will be voting for Kanye West, and if he is not running, I will be writing him in. So this is her talking about... I mean, I don't even know why this is on your platform. Why are you running with this platform? Who are you trying to get?
Governor Haley, you want to raise the retirement age for younger Americans, but you have not said what that age should be. Should voters in their 20s plan on working until they're 70?
First of all, he hasn't answered the fact that he voted to raise the retirement age to 73 different times. He can call me whatever name and be demeaning as much as he wants. It doesn't change the fact that Ron's lying because Ron's losing. Everybody in the country sees it for what it is. So what I'll tell you is, yes, we're going to be responsible with it. I said it's too low if we're going to look at those in their 20s. We have to go and start looking at what we can do to get out of this. We want to make sure that everybody who was promised gets it, but we also want to make sure our kids have something when they get it too.
So she's thinking about raising the minimum wage or the minimum retirement age to 70. And I don't know why that you would ever run on that platform. It seems honestly kind of just, I mean, retarded.
Is election...
All right, here's another Biden clip. We love these.
Denying a joke now.
What do you mean? You have to say more than just make a random statement.
Why did the president say, hello, Virginia, and the real governor, Terry McAuliffe?
Hello, Virginia. And the real governor, Terry McAuliffe.
That's good. That is good. I like that. That's a good little joke. It's a good little joke, a good little jab. But, you know, if you're making those jokes, of course it's a joke, but it's also a joke poking at the amount of voter uncertainty that's out there, right? Like, you know, imagine like they said that joke during like, thank you, Mr. President, and the real president, Donald J. Trump. Like all of a sudden now I'm on a watch list because I've said that. But, you know, that's what I'm saying is like, oh, hey, little cat.
He was making a joke about terror. He was making a joke.
He was making a joke.
I mean, if you play it back, it's clearly that the president was making a joke.
What's the joke?
He was making a joke about McAuliffe's previous term as governor.
How are you guys going to convince people, though, that this idea of denying election results is very bad if President Biden is going out and making jokes like this?
Okay, he did not deny it. He congratulated Governor Youngkin. Matter of fact,
Governor Youngkin. There's so many governors I've never even knew existed. But that is funny. He's not denying. He's not going up there and saying, you are not the... But he didn't not do that. He went up there and he's like, hello, governor, whatever. And also the real governor. I mean, if anyone did that for the president, it would be chaos. If someone went up and said, thank you for talking, Mr. President, and also the real president, Donald J. Trump, it would be mayhem. It would be mayhem. Pandemonium. It would be chaos. All right, here's one of my new favorite flubs. Favorite flubs of all time. I'm saying of all time. This is 25 years, a collected flub machine in my brain. This is top 3 flubs of all time happening in our lifetime. This is so good. This girl... And I feel bad for this girl, but she had one of the biggest Freudian slips. She's a Jewish activist.
I am that people are bringing up the Holocaust. Do not use other genocides to describe this one. I have been...
Oopsie. Oopsie daisy. Oopsie. Yikes. Someone...
Bringing up the Holocaust.
Please, I'm appalled. Do not bring up the Holocaust. Do not use other genocides to describe this one. Uh-oh.
Do not use other genocides to describe this one. I have been...
Man, I mean, I don't know what her point was, but she should have stayed on script. Unless she was on script, in that case, good for you. I mean, that is some of the most serious shit I've seen. All right, now let's watch this guy. This guy's a pastor who was told by Jesus to scam people. And here he is discussing it. Pastors, notoriously good speakers and therefore good con artists. Anyone who's good at talking is good at conning. So
Caitlin and I are being charged in a civil charge from the Colorado Securities and Exchange Commission for basically selling millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency that is deemed worthless by the state. Now, the reason that they're saying that it's worthless is because there is no exit for people who have bought. We launched an exchange. The exchange technology failed. Things went downhill, and from that point forward, we've just been waiting on the Lord, literally for a miracle.
Waiting on the Lord. Waiting on the Lord. I love when the Lord gets brought into like technical financial decisions. When the Lord is brought into it. Oh, I'm waiting on buying a house. We're just waiting on what the Lord tells us to do. Oh, okay. So you're mentally challenged. So what you're telling me is you're mentally challenged. So this pastor said that he's waiting on a miracle from the Lord to bring back his investments.
So
please, Donald Trump.
The charges are that Caitlin and I pocketed $1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say that those charges are true.
I just want to come out and say that, yes, we did pocket $1.3 million. Yes, that, and we will not be giving those back.
$1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say that those charges are true.
That's great.
So there's been $1.3 million that's been taken out of, I think it was a total of $3.4 million. But out of that 1.3, $500,000 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
$1 million went to the IRS, and a few $100,000.
A few $100,000 went into a home remodel.
A home remodel that the Lord told us to do. So how
this is the Lord telling me. The Lord is telling me that my square footage is not enough. My kitchen island needs to be bigger. And the Lord really is emphasizing I'm getting some spirits. The Holy Ghost is coming inside of me, and he's filling me up with ideas. Ideas of a 3-car garage and a grotto in the backyard. I'm getting these ideas. They're coming in. It's the Lord telling me to do these remodels. He wants a fully upholstered, custom linoleum, L couch right in front of a plasma screen TV. And I'm getting this just now. God is saying we should add a theater room. Theater room, custom couch, grotto in the backyard, expanded kitchen, dining area with a nice little bar with a tabletop for guests and a bigger kitchen island. God's saying we need to expand. He's saying to expand, and he's saying to steal money from people in our congregation. The Lord is telling me this. Look, guys, I'm a vessel. I am but a vessel for the Lord's remodeling on our house. I'm but a vessel. And on the third day, God rose and built an extension onto his house.
$1 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord told us to do. So how this whole thing started is the Lord told us in 21 to walk away from our marketing company, and he said, I'm going to do a new thing. And then he took us into this cryptocurrency. It was a different cryptocurrency other than index coin at the time. Well, that cryptocurrency turned out to be a scam.
Jesus, dude. This guy put way too much faith in the Lord. Is this guy still Christian? Can something like this happen to you and you still believe in God? Like, this guy's like, God told me to sell my current marketing company and invest every penny I owned into a shit coin. That shit coin, it was a shit coin, and it turned out to be a major. I invested in Logan Paul coin. The Lord told me to invest in Logan Paul coin and Gary and Friends crypto pals. So the Lord told me to invest in all this, and we went to zero. We are now bankrupt. We were taking all of the money we were passing around in the congregation, and we were putting it towards this investment in crypto. The funny thing is that I don't even think that this counts as a scam, because they give people in church, they pass around a basket, and you voluntarily give a church money, which is kind of the craziest thing I've ever heard of, but you voluntarily just give them money. So these people weren't even scammed, because they were already getting, they were had long ago, right? So this guy's not doing anything even remotely out of character, right? For these types of situations. He is a con artist. I've been to church. I've been to church before, and they pass around this basket, and then 2 weeks later you come into the place and they have 2 brand new plasma screen TVs, and they're like, the Lord told us to buy these so we can put our hymns on there. We can show you the lyrics to the new hymn that we're singing, so that everyone can sing in HD. These are the types of things that are happening. We got a brand new projector and stereo surround sound system for our band, right? These are the type of things so that you can praise better.
And so the Lord says, give that to them, but also give them a 10x.
10x.
And I'm like, well,
yes.
Where's this liquidity going to come from? And the Lord says, trust me.
Where is this God, where is this liquidity going to come from? It says, trust me. God, I want this guy has a obviously this guy's a con artist and is blaming everything on the Lord. Every bad decision he is blaming on the Lord.
is coming in, we would be sowing it. And at first it was hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, then tens of thousands of dollars.
Jesus.
Money would come in, we tithe, we sow, more money would come in. And so we were just always under the impression that God was going to provide, that the source was never ending, that God was doing a new thing, and that we had nothing to worry about.
God was doing a new thing by printing money. But this guy said it was in 2021. What this guy failed to remember is that 2021 was possibly the biggest bull market ever, where you could invest in literally anything and God would provide. I made $3,000 off of dog shit coins. Literally dog shit coins. I made $3,000 just one day. I wake up with $3,000 extra dollars from Shibu Inu coin. That's 2021. The Lord, it wasn't the Lord. It was just shit coins in COVID-19. He was trying something new.
We sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. We did. We took God at his word and sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. And so the prosecutors
God
have
coin.
to take that and say, these people willingly sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. What we're praying for and what we're believing for still is that God is going to do a miracle. God is going to work a miracle in the financial sector.
Work a miracle in the financial sector. No, homie, you're going to get a miracle in prison. You're going to get a miracle every time you go to the shower, I think. Probably about 4 of them.
I think they should only draft.
I like this. This lady has some points that she needs to get off her chest.
Only draft poor people for war because rich people's lives matter more, and I just don't think it's very fair for people who have built up an amazing life for them to have to go to war. We put our children through private school.
Okay, so her logic is actually sound. So as crazy as this sounds, her logic is sound. I think she's making some brilliant points. She's saying only poor people should be drafted into the war, which you could argue is already happening, but we'll see. Continue.
We shouldn't have to waste all that money on private education just to be told we have to join the army like all the other poor people. Rich people have the opportunity to live.
I hope this is a character,
fulfilling
but
lifestyles, to go on holiday when they want, to do whatever they want. Why should they have to give all that up just to go to war? When there are plenty of poor people who have nothing better to do with their lives.
Nothing.
Like, how many unemployed people are there out there that choose not to work? Like, give them a job. Give them a job in the army. And actually,
very true.
Being blown up by Russia would probably be a lot better than the life they lead currently. And another thing, why don't we just take people out of prisons and like give them something to do with their time?
The prison thing, pretty good.
Money anyway. So my message to NATO is, and Richie Sunak, leave the rich people out with this, okay? This has got nothing to do with them.
Oh no, that last part, it has everything to do with rich people. It has almost everything to do with rich people. Ask every shareholder in Raytheon, Northrop, what else? Lockheed Martin. Did I say Raytheon? Ask any shareholder in there and ask them how their bank account looks when we are in and out of war.
And a local.
All right, let's finish with this last one. This one's just a good clip, a good solid clip. And then we'll finish it out.
Firefighter and paramedic.
This was at a baseball game or something, but hockey game, I think.
And a local firefighter and paramedic, Dusty Gooch.
Born and raised in South Lake Tahoe, Dusty's been a firefighter and a paramedic with Tahoe Douglas Fire Protection District for the past 5 years.
Dusty Gooch.
He is in his work uniform. He is currently on duty.
Dusty Gooch. Shout out Dusty Gooch real quick. All right, well, my pockets are getting a little slim, so, and, guys, the YouTube channel, I like doing this, but I know that the Lord will provide and will work a miracle in the not the financial industry, but specifically the YouTube algorithm industry. So I'm praying for a I trust the Lord with everything I do, and I'm praying for a miracle from I am opening a AfroMattt coin and I will be tithing, and I will be sowing, and I will be praying for a miracle. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Honestly, moment of silence for the Chiefs in the Ravens game. It was really sad. All right. Goodbye.